7. Hey, there we go.
Oh yeah, Harvey Bergman too. Alex Calloway says, "Hey Razor, do you think the Deus Ex prequels connect with the plot of the first game?" Of course they do.
Well, there's plot holes, obviously, but...
Or did they just add Bob Page and Manderley for fan service? There's actually a lot of people. If you read through the emails...
Yeah, that they actually added... In Mankind Divided, they added the whole Illuminati. Lucius De Beers,
Dowd.
Dowd. Yeah. They added Duclair, Beth Duclair.
Right.
They added all of them. Which is why I was so disappointed that so many people were like, "Yeah, rah, rah, this game sucks," because Jim Sterling made unfunny jokes about it. Because the game was fucking... It was everything you could have hoped for if you were a Deus Ex fan. It was awesome, and it connected with the original games, and if you're a fucking sheep who hated it just because Sterling did, there's no hope for you.
Ed Wolf Bergman
I also like, he fucking posted a video where he was like, pardon me, he was like, "I talked to a developer at Eidos Montreal, which means that everything I'm saying right now is factual." Well, I got some news for you. I talked to a developer at Eidos Montreal, too. And he contradicted absolutely everything Jim Sterling said.
Oh.
Every claim he made about the backstage politics at Eidos Montreal. So, take that for what you will. But yeah, Dev from Eidos Montreal reached out. It was pretty cool. He was a nice guy.
Ed Wolf Bergman says, "Thoughts on Led Zeppelin?"
I like Led Zeppelin. A little overplayed on the radio. Little bit. Them and AC/DC, if you listen to classic rock radio, holy shit. Classic rock radio is like, at this point, it's just the Led Zeppelin AC/DC channel.
And Ketracel White Power says,
"Glory to the founders."
Shekels, when the bombs fell. Tomahawk and Assad at Damascus. I'll bet the neocons didn't need
His nukes uncovered!
I'll bet the neocons didn't need their Viagra last weekend. Godspeed.
Oh, good shit.
Serpent21 says, "Kira and Dax's get all the love. How about Lita?"
Yeah, Lita's pretty great. She turned into a pretty cool character, although fucking Rom. I feel like she's adversely colored by how cringy Rom got towards the end. With his fucking Rahm Emanuel bullshit. "I suppose you could say that capitalism is a lie." And like, shut up, Rom! God damn, why don't you be a fucking lovable goof again? Shut the fuck up. He went full Bill Nye at the end.
Zebor says, "Finally, I would just like to say thank you to Taryn for the JoJo reference in the top 5 turds. Thank you.
I knew people would immediately notice that.
As we say in JoJo, after a while, Cars decided to vote for Hillary." Yes, he did decide to stop thinking. Even I don't fully get that. The actual line is, "Cars stopped thinking." Well, yeah. He voted Democrat. But thank you for all your donations tonight. Best Way Killa says, "What do you think about Walmart refusing to sell Stryper's new album in stores?"
So bullshit.
Why? What's the title?
Goddamn Evil.
Are you... Oh, come on.
Which is literally like a, hey, God damn evil for us, would you? That's literally what it is. Yes, it's intentionally controversial. That's kind of what Stryper has done their entire career. And oh, hey, by the way, they released a new music video today, and it fucking slays. It murders.
Alamandoria says, "Are you seeing my super chats? Sent 2 out and no reply so far." Don't worry about it, man. We're getting to all of them.
It's slow going, because...
There are just so many.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You guys are too generous.
We appreciate it.
We love you.
Call me.
Free speech over feelings says, "Razor, I want to give you a massive thank you for introducing me to Barry Goldwater and helping reignite my political passions.
Yes, sir.
Keep up the great work, guys.
Did you
God
have
fucking
you
speed.
have you read Conscience of a Conservative? Because it's a good one. It's a good one. Barry Goldwater would be so fucking ashamed of the direction his family and the fucking foundation that bears his name. It's hilarious. Every time a candidate comes out, it's like a reverse fucking endorsement. Anytime a candidate, you know, arrives on the scene and is opposed by both the Goldwater Institute and by Barry Goldwater's family, it's like an immediate, oh, okay, that's the person I'm voting for. Because his family are a bunch of fucking shit libs who are just using their fucking father's or grandfather's name basically to endorse any shitty left-wing idea under the yellow sun.
Real quick,
Who is this?
Wolfman donated $10, but forgot to add his question. And before it gets lost in the chat, I'll ask it. I meant to say I got the new Deus Ex, and it's really weird the first time.
Oh, okay.
It's one of my favorites. It is actually my favorite. I mean, I love Mankind Divided and Human Revolution, but the first one will always have a special place in my heart.
Okay, where is this guy? Come on, new signal source. Is that my objective? This is where I'm supposed to be, right? Yep. Levakin Hub. I wonder where the hell that is. I wonder if that's a local, if that's in the system map. Levakin Hub, is that? No, it's not. Oops. Alright, we're looking for our pirate. Come on, Mr. Pirate.
Someone suggests using your discovery.
But they made one big mistake.
Good.
They attacked my home planet.
Good suggestion. Oh, shit! I fucking swapped it out for my interdictor. God damn it.
Dictor. Let's see.
It's okay, I'll just kind of look around. We'll answer questions, I suppose.
We got lots of them.
My bad.
Alex Calloway says, "Hey peoples, what's your favorite prequel meme?"
Probably have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis? There are so many fucking hilarious variations.
I
of
love
that.
the variation where Anakin's on his phone.
Yes!
And he just looks away in disappointment. It fits so well because he's like, they're watching like a water opera or whatever.
Yes, yes. It's glorious. Huh. Wonder where this jackass is. Let's take another look at that.
Oh, what was your favorite one?
Hold on. Am I in the right system? Let's make sure.
Or is it just that one, like, in general?
Yes, that one in general. 7A. Okay. I think we're at the right planet. I believe so.
Gender fluid demi-queef says, "Bully Hunters, the best 15 seconds of fame since..." Oh wait, where'd they go?
Yeah, no shit. They went right the fuck away, didn't they?
Orbital flight engaged.
Shut up. Maybe could be down on the planet?
Orbital flight engaged.
I really should have brought that scanner. That was my bad. Of course, it's tough when you're looking for pirates.
Objective detected.
Where? There he is.
Oh.
You guys ready?
It's
That's not him. Looks like I have some backup, though. That's good.
Oh, you're taking him on with several other
Well,
people.
there's other people in the area, so sometimes they'll help. Where are you, bud?
Under attack.
Whoa! This guy's taking the initiative.
Yeah, you're being shot at. Holy shit.
Yes, I am.
Fuck him up.
Yes. Kind of annoying having to aim manually, but I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Sorry.
Don't start.
It's gonna be stuck in my head all fucking night. I'm the Waka Man. Yes, 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 yes. Ah! Come on. Damn it. This is harder than it looks. Yes.
Nice. Good turn.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Target shields offline.
Missiles. Eat those missiles, bitch. Eat them. Oh, he's trying to run. He knows he's done. Oh! And
And you got him anyway?
I crashed into him, and that's how he died. That's great. Whoa. Yeah, that was a bad time to boost. I thought he was running. That was a bad time to boost. That was awesome. All right, where are the items that he dropped? What did he drop for us? Anything good? Phase alloys, chemical processors, nothing particularly enthralling.
While you're scavenging,
Go.
Liberty Prime says, a local radio station in my city called Judy's Priest, crusty old has-been music. Can I get a big old fuck you 105.7?
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them in the asshole. I think they're probably pissed because Judas Priest charted over whatever fucking bullshit they're fucking playing. Alright. So I need to get this bounty, I need to go Robson Hub all of a sudden. Okay. Well, let's go Noatiaka Public Limited. Hold on. Where do I need to go here? Public Limited. I assume it would be at the one space station. Oh, yes! There we go. Okay, let's get over to that space station. Collect our reward for the last shitbag we wasted. Things are going rather well. I haven't been murdered yet. So that's a thing. It's like walking through downtown Chicago.
Ready to engage.
Necroner says, this is your fault, Razor, but star trucking across the universe, boldly going forward because we can't find reverse.
Alright.
Dennis Head says, thoughts on the band High on Fire?
No thank you.
Okay. Philip Colby Jr. says, Hamilton or Jefferson?
I do believe... I don't agree with Jefferson on everything, but I do believe I would go with Jefferson. He was at least very strong on the Second Amendment. Very, very strong. I don't think any of the Founding Fathers wrote quite as vociferously about the need for the Second Amendment and exactly why we have it. One of the reasons we do not have to infer the intent of the Founding Fathers on the Second Amendment is because of Jefferson's extensive private writings on the subject.
Let's see. Only Caleb says, are you and Silent Rob still cool with each other, or is there still bad blood between you two?
I'm fine with it. We fucking patched things up a long time ago.
And Andrea Jovanovic says, what games would have to be released to make VR worth purchasing?
You would need to lower the price a lot because I think what you're getting right now just plain is not worth... The value is what's most important, you know. what you get needs to exceed what you're paying, or else you're not going to feel that you're getting the value for it. And that really is kind of where we're at with VR. It's not so much the price point, it's the combination of the price point and what you're getting. So either the number of games and the quality of them needs to increase, and I'm not really seeing that happen, or you need to severely drop the fucking price. That's kind of where we're at with VR.
It's the price that's really killing it.
And honestly, I'm not.
$600?
But honestly, I think it's more the games than the price. I think it's, you know, because they are beginning to lower the price, and it's still not really selling. Because PSVR doesn't cost that much relative to the others, anyways. And
it's a shame too, because a lot of these VR games, like you pointed out, but they're just shooters. You point at shit and shoot it, and that's it.
Yep.
I mean, there's no innovation. They're not doing anything with it.
Yep. I love how it involuntarily slows you down when you're near a fucking planet. It's very, very, very helpful.
It's the gravitational pull of the hysteresis curve.
Right! You just need to reverse the polarity of the deflector array.
Yeah, well, that always works.
And create a sustained tachyon pulse.
Malroad Kill says, in honor of Boss Hogg and the anti-gun cheers squad, I bought an AR-15 last week. Awesome. It's not so bad. I've only found a few copies of Catcher in the Rye under my pillow. The damn animals it brings me are non-human, and I can hardly hear the whispers at night.
How many people has the gun up and killed all by itself?
Filipino White Boy says, what is your favorite Captain Picard quote? Mine is, you motherfuckers are gonna
Oh, come on. There's only one quote.
kill all my lilies.
There's only one quote.
What?
Shut up, Wesley!
Yes.
There's only one.
Somebody just said that recently in the chat, too.
Only one. You don't deserve to wear that uniform.
Simple Sandman says, have you played Everspace?
Yeah, I have.
Really? How is it?
It's okay. It's okay. It was kind of run-of-the-mill, I thought, a little bit. Alright, Hai Shang Orbital.
John
Get
Doe
over here.
says, Razor and T-Boogie, been a fan since the life-changing GameStop rant.
Yes, sir.
Right now, in Japan, and went on my first date. Want to keep dating her, but fear she will only see it as a friendly date. How do I make my intentions clear without being pushy?
Well, first off, put in earplugs before you bang her. Unless you want your eardrums shattered. You have to make it clear. You have to give clues through the context of the date that it's a date and not just a friendly hangout. So avoid coffee. Fucking coffee is a killer. Coffee, any chick that doesn't want to date you or wants to assume that you're just a friend, they'll always assume that coffee is just two friends going out to get coffee. So you need to make it something a little more formal. It needs to be like a restaurant and an actual sit-down restaurant, not like a fucking pizza parlor, you know, not a sushi bar, nothing like that. Fucking, it needs to be an actual sit-down, go to a restaurant. That would be my recommendation. It's those kind of cues that are gonna tell her that it's more of a date. Or maybe take her to the suicide forest, you know?
Make sure to film it.
It's the circle of life, Simba.
It'll guarantee you don't get demonetized.
It's true. And you'll get a Netflix gig.
Did he really get a fucking Netflix?
He sure did.
God damn it.
He sure did.
Samuel Steingart says, does Batman know about the heating advantages of blue coal? Probably not.
Probably?
Robert T. Longway donated $20. Thank you very much, sir. Question for both of you. Would you rather your state, 1, not regulate guns at all and be a bigger sanctuary state than California? Two, have the harshest overreaching gun regulations in the US and build a wall on all sides.
Well, thing is, we're getting a wall anyway, and we don't regulate guns at all. So that's the state I live in now. So I don't know that that's really a value judgment I need to make. But I assume this is just a hypothetical. I would say I would say I value the gun rights more than having the wall. Because there are other ways that you can police the border aside from a wall. The wall is honestly, I've always seen it as more ceremonial. You know, it's really a lot more important to deport when people are criminals and deport when you find illegals and not hamstring the police so that they're not allowed to ask. Those kind of things are a lot more important. Oh shit, I hate when it's one of these stations. You have to fucking find it. You have to find the entrance. Where the fuck is your great big space vagina?
I hate liberals says, the gay lawyer who killed himself via a petroleum golden inferno shower has made me realize a couple of things. Solar power is for pussies and can't get the job done. Also, the LGBT community should now be called LGBTQ. Yeah, that guy had to have problems. I mean, fucking lighting yourself on fire.
That's pretty insane.
I mean, my god.
Although that fucking chick in California at the, she was like a Canadian tourist, Asian chick. You ever heard of this? No. It was a really big mystery. What was her name? Like Eliza Lamb, or she stayed at the Quincy Hotel, which is like famed for all kinds of loony shit that's happened there. And the last thing they saw of her was footage of her in the fucking elevator, and she appeared to be talking to someone who wasn't there and shit.
Yeah. I heard about this. Or actually, I saw the tape.
And she turned up dead in the water tank on the roof. And it was fucking weird because you need like a key card to get into the water tank. Like it had to have been an employee, unless she stole one, only there was no key card on her. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's like people are saying like a ghost convinced her to get in the fucking place's water. And you know how people found out?
Yeah.
Because they were taking
because
showers and
there was blood in the water.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Those all those heavy housing regulations in California are really working.
Fucking creepy, man.
Very, very creepy. It's weird too because her family's like totally fine with it. The people that never get interviewed about that are her family, which I have a feeling the reason why is because they would be like, "Oh yeah, bitch was crazy." You never hear from them. I have a feeling she was just a little nuts.
Look at that, they're like vehicles and shit, just people doing shit. That's amazing.
Yep. Alright. Let's look at
Dominant Persona says, only a ninja can end up in ninja hell where they killed the giggler with a rocket launcher who attacked my home planet.
And remember, information is ammunition. Okay, folks, let's hand this in. Do I need to get it from a contact? Redeem all bounty vouchers.
Game King says, the almost obligatory bumper sticker, my kid shot your honor student. Oh, Jesus.
A search and rescue agent. Nope. Alright, let's look at the commodities market and see if I have anything to sell. Supply... Not so much. not so much. And yeah, let's where is this? I need to go back to Robson Hub. So let's go ahead and set course and get the fuck out of here. No, not enter hangar, leave it. Fuck.
Uri Gressel says, while traversing in Super Cruise, put engine pip to 4. You'll go faster.
Yeah, I'm aware of this, yeah.
Any other questions? I'm here for you. Thank you, soldier. JSC Hong says, how much Shotokan Yaoi does Razor and T-Boogie read?
Less than 0.
The
Although, I remember when I worked at the comic store, I would fuck with my fellow employees by pretending to be great big biker bears on the phone that were looking for Yaoi.
Oh my god.
There was this emo kid who used to work there. His name was Anthony. And I used to do my Stone Cold voice and be like, hey, I'm looking for, I remember this one vividly. It was called Wild Rock. It was like a barbarian. Like, it had like a shirtless Yaoi barbarian on the cover. And I really need a Wild Rock right now. It's really what I need. And then while he'd go look for it, like on the wall, and I'd be like, so, I like them girl pants you're wearing. Because he used to wear girl pants, like an emo kid. Whoa. And he'd just get gradually more fucking creeped out as I went along. All right, yeah, let's get over there. Am I mask locked? Yes, I am. Turn around. I don't know why I always seem to warp into these systems on the wrong side of the fucking station. I always have to find the entrance. It's like trying to find Sterling's boy pussy.
Deplorabology says,
Of course, when a guy that fat, you can pretty much fuck the armpit.
thoughts on Mayhem and possibly a Mythos?
Possibly, yeah. I like Mayhem a lot. Mayhem is hugely important. Like, basically everything you hear about Burzum and how fucking innovative they are, really, like...
Guns make you nervous?
Yes! Really, you should be saying it about Mayhem instead. Because Euronymous created the black metal guitar riff, basically. Like, if there was no Euronymous, there would be no Burzum, there would be no Dark Throne, there would be no anybody. He's the guy who created that kind of symphonic tremolo guitar riff. And coincidentally, right after he was murdered, the entire black metal scene went to shit, which I'm sure is in no way connected. But he did nothing, right? He was just a poser who was gay or something, and they found a dildo in his fucking... And they found a dildo in his nightstand or something? Why Varg was dildo hunting in fucking Euronymous' nightstand, I have no idea. And I'm sure we can all trust Varg, because, you know, just like when he says he didn't rip off Bathory, he's 100% trustworthy.
And number 2, why do you hate Pantera?
Because it's a bunch of fucking bullshit, and because they pretend all of their best albums didn't happen. Fucking... There's... God, you want to talk about tryhards. People call me a fucking tryhard. It's like, Jesus. These guys literally pretend every hair metal album they ever recorded does not exist. Because it's not cool, like, tough guy cool enough. It's not 90s enough. Not enough backwards hats and shitty skeegy goatees. But they also, I would argue, Pantera, kind of like Guns N' Roses. Like, people say Nirvana killed metal. Honestly, I think it was more the bands from within metal that made it really uncool. You know, bands like Guns N' Roses, bands like Pantera, who created these shitty fucking 90s movements that sort of steadily killed metal. That to me was really... They're honestly more culpable than a band like Nirvana. Where's, Where's the Rob sound? There it is.
And
Okay.
lastly, what are your thoughts on Ministry and a possible Mythos?
I don't like Ministry. I've never gotten into the whole goth rock thing, typo negative, Ministry, none of that shit. Plus, Ministry have some fucking horseshit politics.
John Wayne says, "Howdy, Razor. I saw Judas Priest last week. I really wish they would stop playing Painkiller. It sounds like Rob took many painkillers whenever they play it live."
they really need to stop. They need to replace Painkiller with another song from Painkiller. Like do Nightcrawler or something. Do something. Do One Shot at Glory. Do something that Rob can still sing. He couldn't sing One Shot at Glory, actually. I take that back. That song has way too high of notes for him.
Nightcrawler's good.
But Nightcrawler. Do Nightcrawler, man.
Should have played Hell's Patrol instead.
Or do All Guns Blazing.
Yama Happy says, you should have just done some bounty hunting.
That's what I'm doing.
Well, this was an hour ago, so.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm doing.
God donated and says, "Thanks for praising my band Motorhead." Oh, it's Lemmy. Hey. Hi, Lemmy.
He's kicking it up there with Filthy and Fast Eddie.
Mr. E's Absurdities and Atrocities says, "How much for the two of you to sing the chorus from Saikosoku Fall in Love?"
I don't know what the fuck that is. So a lot of money.
But thanks for the $5.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Nightwish fan, welcome back, sir. Thoughts on North Korea denuclearization?
I'm the Rocket Man!
And how do you think the media will cover this? Well, they won't give Trump any fucking credit.
I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Yeah, they're definitely not gonna give Trump any fucking credit.
No, this is just happening all on its own.
It's magic. You
Yeah.
know what they'll probably do? They'll probably give Kim Jong-un the fucking Nobel Peace Prize. You wanna fucking bet? You wanna bet? Or they'll give it to the president of South Korea. I would bet hard cash that that's exactly what'll happen. We'll all pretend Trump had nothing to do with it.
Henri Sorel says, "Who is a worse president, Woodrow Wilson or FDR?"
I would say Wilson because Wilson is the reason FDR happened. Wilson... And Wilson's worse because at least FDR won with a majority of the vote. And before anyone comes back with, "Oh, Trump didn't win with a majority of the vote," it's a little different in the case of Woodrow Wilson. Wilson, I don't know what the final percentage was, but he was nowhere near the majority of the vote. It was like 30th or 40th percentile. Because what happened in that election was Teddy Roosevelt, God love him, had a personal vendetta with William Howard Taft. And so he created the Bull Moose Party, and basically the Republicans, all the conservatives just destroyed themselves. They were so successful that, the majority of the country voted for either William Howard Taft or Teddy Roosevelt. But because neither of their percentage was higher than Woodrow Wilson wound up being the fucking president. And so Woodrow Wilson wins with 30-something or 40-something percent of the vote. And he decides, well, shit, I'm going to be a transformative president, even though most of the fucking country didn't goddamn vote for me. So that's what I hate most about Woodrow Wilson, is not only did he institute all this socialistic horse shit that nobody wanted, he wasn't elected by most of the fucking country. And it's more than just he instituted fucking income tax. It's more than just he arms traded with fucking Great Britain and pulled us into World War I. It's more than all that bullshit. It's, the fact that he got a stroke and literally was immobilized by it and didn't tell anyone, which is legally he is required to do, and just let his wife run the country. We literally had a female president for a while.
Yeah.
At the end of his presidency, an unelected woman was running the fucking country, which is so fucking illegal it hurts. I mean, this guy was a piece of shit. He almost caused a war with Mexico. Like, what the fuck?
I think we would have won that.
Well, yeah, but, he teabagged Mexico. So, he refused to acknowledge the regime that had come to power in Mexico. He refused to acknowledge the government. And then he, like, something happened where, I forget what it was. They invaded somewhere, or I forget the exact particulars, but he made a ridiculous, like, just a fuck you demand. He was like, I demand that you fly the American flag 24/7 in this Mexican city. And the president of Mexico was like, here's an idea, fuck yourself. And it almost caused a war between America and Mexico. Just a jackass. And here's a quote from Woodrow Wilson. The Declaration of Independence has nothing to teach us.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Wow.
Wow.
What the fuck?
How does somebody like that get elected?
Well, exactly, he didn't. He didn't. Fucking Teddy Roosevelt fucked us. Look, William Howard Taft was not perfect. He was a, bit neoconish for his time. But he was also very libertarian at the same time. But yeah, basically, Teddy Roosevelt didn't believe William Howard Taft was being conservative enough, which, he had an argument here and there, but it was mostly just a personal vendetta and basically cost us all and stuck us with Woodrow goddamn Wilson.
Grandmaster Gav says, hey, Razor, love the show. Thoughts on Bruce Lee? Any chance of covering any of his
I would
films?
love to cover a Bruce Lee movie, and it is a plan. At some point in Rageaholic Cinema, we are going to cover both Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, and probably Sonny Chiba, too. Because these guys are goddamn action movie legends, and no mistake, and I love all their movies.
Deplorabiology says, thoughts on Ministry and possible mythos?
Yeah, we already answered that.
Okay. Probably it just copied twice. William Sova says, welcome back, sir. Thoughts on the harebrained scheme lawsuit being thrown out and keep on space trucking?
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, I referenced it earlier when Johnny Millennium piped up. But Harebrained Schemes got the lawsuit from Harmony Gold thrown out. Fucking Harmony Gold is such a lawsuit factory. You aware, like, Harmony Gold, who owns Macross at this point, or they own the North American distribution rights for... Oh, shit. Oh, good, it worked. They own, Robotech and whatever.
Yeah.
And they're blocking Macross from being in the United States. They, let's get angled up here. They fired yet another frivolous lawsuit at, the owners of Battletech, and they pushed back. And so Harebrained Schemes are going to be able to put the unseen mechs in there. They're going to be able to use the Warhammer. They're going to be able to use all those fucking mechs. But the lawsuit against Piranha... What the fuck? Is that a hyperdrive wake or something? What is that? Are you seeing that?
What?
Looks like a space jellyfish. Good. I don't know what the hell that was. It might be a hyperdrive wake. That was weird. But yeah, like, they totally caved their asses in. Which is long the fuck overdue. Honestly, with Harmony Gold, there's such lawsuit and litigation trolls, you just have to destroy them. You just have to get it to the point where it's no longer profitable for them to do these frivolous lawsuits. And only then will they shut the fuck up. Okay,
Let's see what that
land up here. Okay, I think I have to be within 7 clicks to request a landing.
Insert clever name here says, a horse walks into a bar. Bartender says, why the long face? The horse says, just pour me a fucking drink, you lousy Mick.
Alright, here we go. Shit, here we go.
Murphy the band child says, prepare ship for ludicrous speed. Fasten all seatbelts. Seal all entrances and exits.
Secure all animals in the zoo.
Close all shops in the mall. Cancel the 3-ring circus. Secure all animals in the zoo.
Yes!
When are you going to be streaming the new God of War like everyone else?
Ugh. When you fucking force me physically. It's Horizon Zero yawn all over again, folks.
Oh my god, they are capitalizing hard on that fucking Last of Us. Involving a child and all that shit.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like, even the same camera
It's
angle.
what is with Sony? Why are all their first-party games the fucking same? I mean, this game is set in fucking Viking medieval land, and it still feels like every Sony exclusive ever. Like, why do they all have to look and play the same? All aboard the fucking bandwagon, folks.
Danny Parker donates $4.20. Been watching since late 15. Thanks.
Press the hash key.
Beef with Colorado? No. We already covered that.
I'm not a fan of their fucking politics.
John Horn says...
Alright, let's get some cash! Some Kizash. I'm gonna get a nice little chunk of change here, I believe.
John Horn says, did you ever get into the Saints Row games? If not, then why the hell not? Don't you know my opinions need validation?
I was never a big Saints Row guy.
I liked them.
Personally.
By the time they got to 4, though, it was fucking crazy.
Oh, look at that nice chunk of change. Boom.
How close are you to your new ship?
I believe I have eclipsed it. So let's check. Let's see their shipyard. I'm not sure they sell the ship I want, but...
Oh, and I shit you not. People are comparing God of War to... Come on, say it.
What?
You know the answer already. This game is the new... It's just like...
Not Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Are you fucking shitting me? Fucking, what do they pay you by the Dark Souls mention, journalists? Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Seriously.
Alright, folks. Now, I am gonna go back to... I believe I have the system bookmarked. Because I found a system where they... What the fuck? Oh, let's just use the mouse. Yes. Plot route. Before I do that, I'm gonna get my fuel scoop just so I don't run out of fucking fuel. And we are gonna go over there. We're gonna buy my new ship, and we may call it there.
Let's see, before that... Black Bull says, Mech Commander was my introduction into Battletech. Will the new Battletech game be a learning curve for me?
Mech Commander?
Yeah.
Mech Commander was a real-time strategy game. This is a turn-based strategy game, so it's a little different. But
I would think you'd do
but
all
it's
right.
the same producer. And by the way, I've been getting a lot of questions from people and a lot of mentions about the SJW horseshit with harebrained schemes and all that shit. Folks, most of that comes from the project lead who also did Mech Commander, a guy by the name of Mitch Gittleman, whose politics are pretty fucking obvious. He's a Seattle guy, and he is very much a product of Seattle at this point. I don't know if he's originally from Seattle, but his politics sure are. But, you know, I respect the guy, whatever, but it's pretty obvious he's where all that is coming from. It's not, stop giving the rainbow coiffed bitches all the shit, because they were just hired by him. This dude is really left-wing, and I knew it. I remember when I was watching a Q&A stream. It was a Battletech Q&A stream. I mentioned this last night on the test stream, but I'll mention it for all of you now. I'm watching this Q&A stream, and they mention, I forget exactly what the question was. You can go back and look. There's a lot of Q&A streams, but it was one of the first ones. Like, I want to say it was the third or the fourth one they did. And someone asked on the live chat, there was a character who was like a female Asian, I want to say. And they were like, hey, do we get to pick that character's, like, gender or race? Can they be like a white guy, or can they be a black guy, or whatever? And he kind of gives this awkward look to the camera, pauses, and he goes, we're not whitewashing that character. Next. And I'm like, that was a little alarming. That's a bit of a problem.
It just asked if they could customize their character. That's it.
Yeah, and
You don't
hey,
need to snap at people.
and hey, motherfucker, it also happens to be an RPG. Well, wow, fucking asking for RPG elements in a fucking role-playing game. Shit. What a raving asshole. So yeah, that was the first moment where I knew, oh, no question where these guys' politics lie. The thing that pisses me off about it is, like, okay, people have mentioned the pronoun thing, how you pick your character's pronoun. The only reason that pisses me off, I wouldn't care if this was an approximation of real life. If this was, you know, a shooter or something, I would roll my eyes, obviously, because it's obviously ham-fisted political horseshit. But the reason why it pisses me off is this is not a representation of real life. It's a representation of a tabletop game. It's an adaptation of the tabletop game, of the BattleTech tabletop game, the role-playing game, MechWarrior, and BattleTech, okay? And in the tabletop game, there are no pronouns. It's dude or chick. So shut the fuck up and stop putting that in your game. Because you're not trying to represent real life. You're trying to represent the tabletop, and it doesn't have a place in it. If it was any other fucking game, I really wouldn't care.
Yeah.
It's just...
When you have such a storied environment, you don't need to put shit in real life that's happening right now because of modern politics in your game.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't exist there. Just fucking drop it, God.
Basic discovery scanner. No...
The goddamn Loch Ness Monster from South Park donates Tree Fitty and says, power metal band you'd like to see most in concert. I would love to see Power Glove.
Sorry, which kind of band?
Power metal.
I would go with, Demons and Wizards has never done a concert. I would love to see Demons and Wizards live. That would be tricky, of course, because, you know, one band is in Germany, the other band is in the United States, but where the fuck do I put the fuel scoop?
Andy C says, I identify as an urban mech.
Is it the interdictor? Hold on, let's take a look. Fuel scoop. Yes, fuel scoop. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and buy a fuel scoop real quick, because apparently I accidentally sold my last one. I have plenty of cash, so...
Oh, fuck you, that's not true.
Store the other one.
The Master Trash says, hey, Razor, just wanted to let you guys know that Game Informer gave Kingdom Come a 5.75 and Metal Gear Survive a 6. Well, there goes their last bit of credibility.
What credibility? Come on. What credibility? Kingdom Come's a fucking awesome game. You know, I wish there were less quest bugs. That's the only thing that pisses me off about the bugs is when you can't finish a quest. They're usually just like side quests or something. It's usually not that big of a deal in their defense. But that does irritate the shit out of me, is, you know, you'll get to the end of a quest and then the quest giver, the dialogue won't trigger, so you can't finish the quest. Like, it was that quest where you have to make the potion that keeps the soldiers awake so that you can assault the castle, and you couldn't finish it. It wouldn't let you find an herbalist. You would find an herbalist that would be willing to make the potion, but then you'd find all the ingredients and you'd go back to the alchemist and they would be like, it would just be their generic dialogue options. They wouldn't make the fucking potion. Really fucking annoying. Okay, so let's get over to... I believe I already laid in my course. Hengardi! Okay.
Do it.
Hengardi! That sounds like a suspiciously Italian space system. Or solar system. Let's,
Best way Killa.
Get over there, the fucking sun has an open shirt.
Best way Killa says, what is your favorite song based on Elric? Mine is definitely Perfect Strangers, with Am I Evil being a close second.
Yeah, I might say Am I Evil, Borrowed Time. go.
So you would say, am I evil?
Yeah, probably Am I Evil, although there's a lot of Elric songs. Fuck, even, Mortuus, the vocalist of Marduk, he used to have a band called Funeral Mist, and the name that he used back when he did that band was Ariok. So someone is an Elric fan.
Andy C says, I used to make jokes about kids with progeria, but it got old fast.
I knew it! I knew it! I saw it coming in the distance.
That's pretty good. Hardcore Bunny says,
Sorry, I just said little kids coming in the distance, and Kevin Spacey turned around the corner. But anyway, let's,
Hardcore Bunny says, will they ever remove the Q from LGBT? Why do they have to humiliate gays by making us seem accepting of a hipster mental illness? Also, Switch review?
Nintendo Switch review?
I assume.
I don't have one. I do not have one, so...
And John Horn says, I thought you said before you were going to itemize all the similarities between Elric and The Witcher.
Yep, and
Am I wrong, or are you still planning that?
I'm still planning it. It's just a long process, and, you know, we've been doing a lot of other stuff. That's all. But yeah, it's pretty much done. I just need to sit down and finish recording some bits, and then edit it all together. It's gonna be a bit of a beast. It's gonna be a pretty long video.
9-parter. The laziest Mark says, what has a better chance of happening? Movie Bob
laziest Mark, but enough about Bruce Pritchard.
Movie Bob losing weight, Star Citizen coming out, spooning and making another video, or gun reform.
I don't know what happened, where Spoonie went. He was back for a while. Whoa, I am overheating like a motherfucker. Let's cool down a bit here. Let's drink some Nest tea. Jesus. That fuel scoop is handy.
I would say that
Okay,
Star Citizen coming out will definitely happen at one point.
No, well, Squadron 42 will definitely come out.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did I not call that? Did I not call that they would release Squadron 42 first to raise capital for Star Citizen because they're running out of money? Okay, let's hyper jump. Oh, we got anarchy in this system, so watch out. Occasionally you'll be super cruising, and in systems with anarchy, people will just interdict your ass out of super cruise and try and jump you. That'll especially happen during open play. People will fuck with you.
Wolfman, don't worry about your donation. We'll get to it eventually. We're just a little backed up. Let's see.
Like Sterling after a fondue buffet.
Hardcore Bunny
What
says,
the hell is that?
do you like Irish songs like Finnegan's Wake?
Yeah, dude, Ireland has great music. They have great fucking music. Let's see here. Alright, here we go.
And then there was that huge donation by LG. Thank you once again.
Thanks, bro. Wow, we are backed up.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Zbor says, word good speak, not can I, with limit character on.
It just said my hyperdrive is operating outside safety limits. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Here thing, I send you again. And it's a Google document. We'll have to look at that later. Yama Happy says, name one female celebrity you dislike but would still get it on with if the opportunity presented itself.
That I dislike but would still get it on with? Now, folks, I learned that lesson. Girls whose personalities I'm not attracted to, I can not bone down with. I made that mistake before. Not with girlfriends, luckily, but, you know. hookups and the like. Never make that mistake, folks. Personality does matter.
John says, hope you guys bought your tickets for Priest's Phoenix show, because I saw them on Tuesday and they were fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure it's great. Plus, Saxon is opening, and you gotta see Saxon.
Saxon won't be there because they were amazing too.
Why won't Saxon be there? Hold on, they were advertised on the show. I mean, the fucking Bands in Town advertisement that I saw had Saxon on it. Did they get dropped from the tour or something?
Warning. Temperature critical.
Okay, I guess I have to be upright or something. Whoa, let's pull away here. Getting a little hot.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Okay. Panoy! Panoy rocks. Just don't get in a car with Vince Neil. Someone will understand that reference.
Anthony Carollo says, Captain Razor, favorite Steel Panther song?
Oh, shit. Community Property is pretty good. Death to All But Metal is great. Rock Like It's the End of the World fucking blows. I hate that fucking song. But yeah. The problem with Steel Panther is they kind of rip off existing hair metal songs. Musically, I mean. So it's like you're kind of listening to a Guns N' Roses tune a little bit, or...
Gimp Ninja says, I can't play PC because of my CP. Well, shit. Sonic R1 says, best quality live albums of any genre.
Of any genre. Whoa, I gotta pull away here. I am gonna light on fire. Best quality what albums?
Live albums.
Live albums. Of any given genre?
Yeah. I would put Michael Jackson up there.
What live album did he release? He released, like, live VHSs and stuff, from what I remember. Live in Budapest is great.
What about...
From the Dangerous tour.
Freddie Mercury.
Queen... Live at the Bull was really good. Of course, the last one they put out, the Live Magic tour from '86. In terms of heavy metal, I really like No Sleep at All by Motorhead, actually. Very underrated from, like, the rock and roll era.
Good night, Bobby Jimbo. Thank you for joining us.
Godspeed, and thanks for joining us. Is this the last jump? Yes, it is. You guys ready? We are gonna get this fucking spaceship.
Leon Kerensky says, any plans on checking out MechWarrior Online's Solaris game mode?
Yeah, I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I got the update, but I haven't tried it.
Should be interesting.
Sofa King says, first of all, Go Niggas stands for Goyim Niggas. Yeah, thank you. Second of all, you wouldn't drink the butt crack sweat of Eva Green?
It's butt crack sweat.
Yeah.
Let's get over here. Here we go. These guys have my ship, or at least they did the last time I visited them. If some randomly generated bullshit screws me out of my ship, I'm gonna be pissed. Or I'll just go to another space station and hope they have it.
I'm gonna slaughter this.
What are
For Teutonicus says, when you have the cash, upgrade to a vulture, in my opinion.
I forget if that's the one I was gonna get. I have enough cash to get whatever the fuck it was I wanted to get. I just can't remember what it was. Whoa. Slow down. Holy shit, slow down. Slow down.
Oh, now the ship doesn't want to slow down.
It does that. It does that. It, like, wants to slingshot around the system sometimes. You know, even if you keep it in the blue where it's ideally supposed to be, it'll just, well, it'll go too fast.
Aw, Nathan fucked up his joke. I think he did. Nathan W. says, what's the difference between a Jew and a revolver? I think the answer is supposed to be, you can only fit one bullet in a chamber. Isn't that right?
You can only fit one in the chamber?
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah.
He says that you can only fit one Jew in a chamber.
Oh, I see.
But we know that's not true. I'm terrible. Best Way Killer says, best choice for a Thrash Mythos episode would be Sodom, which will double as a black metal episode for the first few albums.
Yeah, I've definitely, that's definitely on the list. I'm a huge Sodom fan. Sodom is very underrated in terms of the development of black metal. Very underrated. You know, you always hear about Venom and Bathory and Celtic Frost and Hellhammer and fuck, you even hear about Merciful Fate, who in my opinion is not actually that important to black metal. It's just my opinion. But you almost never hear about Sodom. And their first couple of albums are full-blown black metal. And good black metal, too.
Commander Solaris says, if you buy from Alliance, you get a discount.
Oh, yeah?
Apparently. Alliance space.
I'm not sure where the fuck that is. Like I said, I'm pretty new. So, let's see here.
And somebody said, Anthony said, the punchline is, a bullet leaves the chamber.
Oh!
Yes, that's pretty good.
Landing permission granted. Proceed to landing pad.
Gold 818 says, is Trump a Zionist or a Nazi or both?
That's the thing, folks. He is a pragmatist.
Dominant Persona says, thoughts on the Teutonic 3?
Maintain current heading until further instruction.
What? Talking about thrash metal?
Maybe. It's the second one from the bottom.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what he's referring to. I assume thrash. If so, I am a fan.
Lighting gear deployed.
Jason the Unpopular says, have you seen the video of Hawkwind playing a Chronicle of the Black Sword live?
Yes, I have, with Michael Moorcock live with them.
The band wears black robes that make them look like the cultists, and an actor in pancake makeup playing the role of Elric
Yep.
takes the stage and menaces the audience with a sword.
Yeah, and Moorcock narrates the whole fucking show. Okay, gang. Let's see if we can get this, if we can afford it.
Ship secured.
I'll be kind of pissed if I can't. I'm gonna know what ship it is as soon as I see it. I forget what it was. Is it an adder?
For your convenience,
It was a Cobra Mark III. That's what it was, and I do believe I have enough. Shall I? It has one additional multi-crew seat. It's a nice looking ship.
Let's see what everyone has to say.
Plenty of cargo racks. It's a good one.
I see. Do it. Do it. Good choice. Cobra 3 is the classic.
That's what I'm thinking.
Do it. Spend dem shekels. Do it. UNATCO. Body bag.
Alright, sweet.
It's a ship purchase, guys. We're not killing anyone yet.
Alright, let's, whoops.
Does it come in black?
Does it come in black? Cobra Mark III, folks! Engage.
Order the soup.
Store current ship? Store current ship? Yeah, I'll put myself in the poorhouse. That's fine. Because I like the current ship. It's a good ship.
USS Japanese Hell. Says debonair nerd.
No? I think we can do one better than that. I think we can do one better than that. Ship name. Whoa.
Bronson is back.
I'm coming for you. How about that, folks? You like that? You like it? I'm digging it. Do we have any colors? I don't think we have any colors. I don't think we have any of the coloreds.
Biting my tongue. Alamandorius says, had to switch to Shudder, Internet Explorer to get this to work. Anyway, are you going to do a rant about the memos? Please do rant.
I have a rant I'm probably going to do about the Democrats suing the entire planet, but it will mention the memos. That will be mentioned. I can't conceive of mentioning how fucking batshit the Democrats are right now without mentioning the Comey memo.
And Scarfy the Strange says, how about them Facebook hearings?
No fucking shit. It's always nice to see Brent Spiner.
Yep. If you look closely enough, you can see the wires
Look at
coming
that.
out of him.
USS Bronson.
Oh my god, yes.
I need to buy that though. This is all your microtransaction bullshit. Yeah, I need a different paint job. Oops. Okay, I think we're good on that one for now. And we should finish up the questions and rock and roll on out of here and party every day. Do we have anything in the mission board that looks attractive?
Netandawi says, do you follow the NHL or the Stanley Cup playoffs?
I haven't been following them. I've caught a few Coyotes games, which of course means I'm not catching the playoffs. Because the Coyotes are shit. But, no, I like the Coyotes, but...
Also, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Also, thoughts on New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Japanese pro wrestling doesn't do much for me. I like the more kabuki-ish stuff when they have like gimmicks and stuff, but there's not a lot of that in New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. A lot of it is Japan is really scarfed down the fucking MMA Kool-Aid, and it's kind of lame. I'm not a huge fan. Like my favorite Japanese wrestlers were like fucking Hakushi and the Great Muta and Tajiri and, you know, the more gimmicky wrestlers. I always liked those kind of. Right, I was a big Hakushi fan. Ooh, there's an available assassination. I'm gonna have to do that when I come back. I'm gonna have to do that. Ooh, that's a lot of money, too. Mission rank expert? No, I may have to pass on that.
Let's see.
Deliver 2 units of wine. Apparently I have to deliver to the USS Kevin Nash.
Patrick Starr donates $4.20 and says, that $500 just bought you a 1 terabyte solid state drive.
Yeah!
Quebec donated $50. Thank you very much, sir.
Wow.
If you ever play Black Desert Online or StarCraft 2, Hearthstone, it would be great to play a few games with you so you can admire my mediocre gaming skills.
I don't have either of those games, unfortunately.
But thank you very much. That's really generous.
It is.
Testicular Tactics says, I'm an edgy atheist.
Of course I can afford them now, I suppose.
Easter was on April Fool's Day, lol.
It was.
Debonair Nerd donated $5 Aussie.
I like to believe that was Jesus' first words when he came out of the fucking grave.
Lol?
April Fools.
Oh. Stevie Ray Vaughan's free helicopter rides donates $10. Hey, Razor, did you happen upon the stream between Nick Fuentes and AIU?
No, I haven't been following any of those drama streams.
Also, curious about your thoughts on AIU. Also, I don't even know what that is.
No idea. What's, what kind of commodities do I know I have some stuff in my cargo hold. Oh,
I
no,
agree
wait.
with him, like,
No,
50% of the time.
Yeah, that's right. My inventory's empty. It's in my other ship. I want to see this cockpit real quick.
Autism is
Oh,
unstoppable.
look at that cockpit.
Oh, sorry. Atheism is unstoppable? I'm not familiar with that YouTuber.
No. Well, I've heard the name.
Kyle donates and says, sorry for the small donation. My local gun show is tomorrow. Razor, what drew you to the C96? And Taryn, are you interested in firearms?
No.
I'm very interested in firearms. I am.
The reason I like the C96 is because I'm more of a revolver guy. I'm not a big automatic fan. So the C96 being the first real commercially successful machine pistol kind of still had some revolver in it. If you look at like the grip, it's, you know, it's wooden, it's contoured, it's not exactly a revolver grip, but it's kind of revolver-ish. So it kind of, in the hand, it feels a little more like a revolver. And the action in terms of... So if you look at the C96, it's weighted really weird. Like, all the weight is at the back, and it has this long, thin barrel, which is why, by the way, the shorter barrel versions actually have less recoil, which makes no sense, but they do have less recoil. Because the recoil on the C96 isn't really recoil, it's really muzzle flip. Because it fires a really hot round. The proprietary Mauser round is really hot. So what you get is, like, the gun kind of pops up on you after every shot. So between the wooden grip and the way that it kind of, you have to reset on the target after every shot, it's very much like a revolver. It's an automatic with the heart of a revolver. That's why I like the C96. Plus, it's really cool to shoot with the stock and stuff. It's a nice gun, and it's pretty accurate. The one I have is, I'm surprised it's not all shot out.
Officer Donut says, have you been listening to Sabaton lately? Favorite song and/or album?
I have to go with Winged Hussars. And favorite album? I don't know if I have a favorite album. Yeah, I don't know.
Anonymous donated and says, didn't you once eat out the corpse of Adolf Hitler's asshole? Probably not.
Well, I'm not big on ass sweats, so... We've already established that emphatically on tonight's stream.
Gold818 says, list your top 5 U.S. cities.
Top 5 U.S. cities. I would go with Phoenix first and foremost. I've been all around, but I love Phoenix. Cincinnati. I love the Natty. It's awesome. Great food and just a cool looking city, too. San Francisco. I love, despite their shitty politics. I'd go with... Cleveland's pretty cool, actually, despite the trashiness. And maybe throw a curveball in there with, like, more of, like, where did I go? Memphis. I liked Memphis a lot when I went there. So those would probably be my favorite American cities, anyways.
Remiel Pollard says, didn't realize you played my game. You're about to get a friend request from Commander Remiel Pollard.
Sweet.
And Senator Satan says, oi, I heard you lads were smoking fags in Arizona now. You got a license for that, mate? Had to break up the F word to get around censors. Yeah, that's what happens. You donated $10. Didn't you once eat out the... You already said that. Alamandorius says, Streamlabs doesn't work for me using Internet Explorer. Also, I asked the question previous, but you missed it, I think. Asked if Razor was gonna rant about the memos. No, we got to it eventually.
Yeah. Definitely gonna add that onto a rant that is about this. Basically, I'm gonna do a rant about how fucking over the edge the Democratic Party have gone. They've lost their minds, folks. They have gone from lunacy to batshit fucking lunacy. They have lost their minds.
All they have to do is put the final nail in the coffin, and we have to finally vet all those people who voted in the 2016 election, and it won't stand up to it.
If you're still, I mean, they're still nourishing the Russian. We are actively bombing Syria, Russia's ally, and they're still pushing the Russia narrative. You have got to be fucking shitting me. If you're still pushing it at this point, you're not jacked the fuck into this reality. You just can't be. Period.
Best Way Killa says, now play Shatner's version of Mr. Tambourine Man. Oh, hey, William Shatner says, and I think it's going to be a long time.
Yeah. Anything else? Let's see here. Zebor, I live in Missouri. Fuck Kansas and their property taxes. Yeah, but you have Ferguson. Anthony Carollo, play William Shatner's cover of Rocket Man. Uh-oh. David NS84, Razor and Terran, what do you think about SpaceX? I'm not an Elon fanboy myself, but SpaceX is the next best thing to a Heinlein novel right now. What do you think?
I mean, he's actually doing it, so...
It's true. It's true. You have to give him that. Shadow Soul 77, Christ on a Cracker, Razor, thanks for playing that song. It gave me a good laugh and bleeding ears, but thank you, sir. Gender Fluid Demi-Queef. How fast before we see a video of that segment with Will's singing face composited in the background? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm the Rocket Man!
You have to poke him from off stage to get him to keep going.
Sorry. Jason, the unpopular question: how can you tell if Jim Sterling has been through your backyard? All your trash cans have been knocked over and your dog is pregnant.
Oh.
Brother from down under. Just tuned in. Did you hear about the 2 homeowners in Florida who fought off 7 home invaders with an AR-15 and a 9mm? Of course not. The media didn't fucking report it. They broke down the door shouting sheriff's officers and were met immediately with a hail of bullets. Any pro-gun media coverage? Yeah, not so much. Not so fucking much. Frank Sauer. They are actual books published by Rock and Fossa. Cool. He also wrote some of the Deadlands books under the house name James Axler. Awesome. I'll have to check those out. I have a lot of the Battletech books. I'm sitting here looking at Decision at Thunder Rift, Mech Warrior Ghost of Winter, Exodus Road, Lethal Heritage, Ideal War is up there somewhere. So I got a lot of Battletech books. I'll have to check that out. Let's see here. Henri Sorel. I'd like to point out Lita fucked Bashir, the one man in all the quadrant that Jedzia Dax wouldn't fuck. Yeah, but he got Ezri in the end. And she was like an improvement over Dax, so fuck that. It's okay to be a white man. Have you been to New Orleans? No, I haven't been to Nolans. I did pass through Louisiana. Let me tell you, the only southern state I would never go back through is fucking Arkansas. What a shithole. What a fucking shithole. And it was mostly the weather. It wasn't even like the people or anything. But holy fuck, badly paved roads, dead fucking possums and armadillos and shit on the side of the road. Like fucking, ugh. What an awful, awful, awful state. And just muggy as a son of a bitch. Probably because they're so far below sea level or something. I don't know. Of course, Louisiana is too.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Alex Calloway. Yo, fellow teens. I'm a console gaming refugee who's trying to get into PC gaming. I bought the first 2 Thief games in Deus Ex, but my third world console mindset has yet to adjust to mouse and keyboard. Any suggestions? Yeah, think of it like your mouse is your right stick on your controller, and your keyboard is the left stick.
Yeah.
If you can reorient your way of thinking to that, you're good. You're gonna be good. Fake news. Do you do muzzle loaders? No, I've never done a muzzle loader. I've never done a musket or anything like that. I'd like to at some point. That'd be fucking cool. Debonair Nerd. I have Bastard, Sacrifice, Overnight Sensation, Inferno, Aftershock, and Bad Magic. Suggest my next Motorhead album. So far, Bastards is my favorite. Let's see. You, sir, need We Are Motorhead. That's what you need. Very good album. And you already have... Oh, pardon me. You already have Inferno. You need We Are Motorhead, and you need Kiss of Death. Great fucking records. Bejor for Bajorans. Whenever TJ Kirk speaks about Trump, I become so fucking angry. You indefatigably prove Trump is good, but TJ says Trump is bad. Why? Because TJ Kirk is not a moderate. Look, he's a liberal, all right? That's... I understand, like, he's kind of done the anti-SJW thing because that pays on YouTube, but the guy, at the end of the day, is just kind of a liberal. It is what it is. I disagree with the guy. I respect the hell out of his ability to speak on camera, though. We just disagree about some things. S-Serpent21. So who wins in a fight? Chuck Norris with rocket launcher, Bronson with Wildy, or Gino Felino with broken pool cues? Gino Felino was Seagal in Out for Justice, right?
Oh.
I believe. Fuck. Bronson with Wildy. You have to go Bronson with Wildy. That was for Bobby. What are you gonna do? I'm out of bullets. Well, that's a shame. Because those bullets could have saved you a lot of pain. I love that fucking movie. This is my badge. This is my gun. This is your trophy. This is your trophy. Come and get it. See how which of you cajules can come and get it, or whatever the fuck it was. Cadules? I don't know Italian slang. You should know this.
Why the fuck?
You're Harry and Italian.
Eh.
He's gesticulating as we speak. He's doing the Mussolini thing. Boopity boppity. Let's see here. The Wolfman, tell my brother. Dan, stop being a fucking weeb. Cheers, mate. Stop being a fucking weeb! It'll turn your dick inside out. Or outside in. David Dowler, have you considered writing / producing original Shadow audio dramas on YouTube?
But they made one big mistake. They attacked my home planet.
Holy nutballs! Yeah, I have. Although I'd prefer... I have one more Shadow audio drama that I really want to do. It's one that was never broadcast, technically. It's one that Walter Gibson managed to save. Because Walter Gibson was a little more involved in the radio show than people realize. He consulted on the first episode, and there are some rumors that he may have written a few scripts under, like, ghost names and stuff here and there, because he really wanted to be involved with the radio show because it was super successful. So, you know, he's the creator of the Shadow. He wanted to have some kind of input and, of course, collect that paycheck. But there's rumors that he may have been involved in that. Some guy with an opinion. I know you're not a Statham fan, but have you seen the Crank movies? No, I haven't. I've seen the Transporter movies. They were all right, I guess. Luc Besson. Blast Action, are you at all a fan of stoner doom metal? Somewhat. A lot of those bands just sound like I can't believe it's not Black Sabbath, which doesn't do a whole lot for me, because Sabbath already exists, and they've got Iomi, and you don't. But some stoner doom metal that I like, check out Lucifer, check out The Oath. Some good stuff. Black Raptor 311, found a copy of the Battletech... Oh, shit, he donates $20. Thank you, sir. Found a copy of the Battletech novel Decision at Thunder Rift at a used bookstore. It was priced at $25. Wow. Thought it was a price gouge, but I looked online and that was the lowest I could find, so I bought the 80s cover. Cool! I actually got mine for pretty cheap. It was at a local thrift store, but I think they didn't know what they had. I think that's what that was, because I got it for like $2.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
But yeah, they didn't know what they had, and it was in kind of poo condition, so, you know, you get what you pay for. But yeah, and by the way, I did see your video with the painted mechs. Bitchin' stuff, dude. Bitchin' fucking stuff. If you're a Teutonicus, once you have some cash, I'd highly suggest grabbing a Vulture. Fucker's got 4 hard points. 2 beam lasers and 2 multi-cannons will melt most NPC ships. Awesome. I'm going to have to take that to heart. I need some... I need the lasers It'd be great to have the fucking, some missiles on it along with the beam weapons.
Yeah.
Kikakazumi, how true to the Shadow was the movie starring Alec Baldwin? I'm trying to build the Shadow as a character for a Torg game. It wasn't that far off. They got a lot of things right. They got a lot of things wrong, too, mostly tonally. But, you know, they got certain things wrong, like he was never a warlord in fucking China. That was never a thing, really, or in Tibet or wherever the fuck that was. That was put in so that he would have some pathos, and apparently it was good enough for Batman to steal, so there's that. But yeah, that whole kind of thing isn't really true to life. Really, the Shadow's origin is he was, number one, he's not Lamont Cranston. He's not. He's Kent Allard, a World War I ace who was so adept at shooting down enemy planes he was referred to as the Black Eagle. And they rented him out to France or Britain, I forget which, and he wound up doing... It really being the Black Eagle was a cover for his true work. He was like an espionage assassin agent who would go behind enemy trenches and, you know, he would steal state secrets and shit. So, honestly, that's the Shadow story. If I ever wrote a Shadow story, that would be the one I would write. Would be the World War I, like, becoming the Shadow story. I understand you don't want everything explained about your characters, and you certainly would have to walk a line between showing too much and that, but I mean, the idea of seeing Kent Allard in World War I doing fucking wet work and shit, I mean, I can't pass that shit up. That sounds amazing. Razor has said he's not a fan of Candlemass. That's not true, Best Way Killer. I'm a huge fan of Candlemass, actually. I like Candlemass. In fact, they have one of my favorite singers in the band right now, Mats Levin, who's awesome. He used to be in Yngwie. Parlock 480, have you heard of the Phoenix-based band Icon from the 80s? I think I have in the past. The big bands here back in the day were Flotsam and Jetsam, who, Flotsam and Jetsam were, I forget what high school they were at, if it was Cortez. That was Alice Cooper. They were at was it Apollo? I want to say they were at Apollo High School back in the day. They were in, like, Glendale or Peoria back in the day. And, yeah, Flotsam and Jetsam is the shit. Of course, Flotsam and Jetsam are famous for giving Metallica a bassist, Jason Newsted. Oh, I misread your comment, Best Way Killer? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Let's see here. Retro Electro. Most underrated and overrated decades of the 20th century America. Overrated, 60s. Phew. Big time. Underrated, the 19-teens. The teens people don't talk about enough. Just because it's a weird decade or whatever, but the teens are hugely important. That's the decade that sets up the 20s. It's a decade where we kind of lost a lot of liberty without really paying attention. There's a lot of lessons we could learn from that decade. We got drawn into world conflicts and started becoming world police in that decade. And I feel like a lot of our national identity, sadly, was lost in the 19-teens under the Woodrow Wilson regime in particular. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on... Whoops. Where'd you go? Pudding Pants. What are your thoughts on Trump cucking the omnibus? I haven't heard much on the omnibus. What happened? You would have to fill me in. Because I haven't been paying attention. There's been so much bullshit happening. Like, it's hard to even keep up with all of it.
Every fucking day. It's something new.
Yeah, it's always something new. Ordo Teuton, alternate history scenario. What if Kurt Cobain had lived? He would have become fucking Seether, folks. He would have sold the fuck out. And he would have become Radio Rock, because that's exactly what Nirvana enabled to happen.
Yeah.
He would have become goddamn Nickelback. Mark my motherfucking words. Shane Boatwright. Pop music these days is so shit it makes me wish I'd been paying attention when goth bands with female leads were everywhere. Worth revisiting? What, like fucking Evanescence? Not so goddamn much. No sa. And I think that's the last one.
Wow, really?
Oh. Shane Boatwright. Hold on. Let me find Shane Boatwright. Did I go... No. No. That's not. Okay, sorry. It just fucking lagged. That's my bad. Mysteries, absurdities, and atrocities. Tell us how you feel about New Mexico now, please.
Did something happen?
They're basically, I mean, the name is apropos, because they basically surrendered to Mexico at this point by electing all these fucking retards. It's basically fucking Mexico's appendix at this point, politically speaking anyways. It's a shame. I drive through New Mexico all the time, but... 5 Hounds, doing research on driving games. You guys seem to know your shit. You guys know any games that have great driving in terms of cars and or hover cars? There's a lot of driving sims now.
Yeah.
A lot of like trucker simulators and shit.
Yeah.
I was watching Sainted Magnus play like Euro Truck Simulator a while back. But yeah,
You know that there's a game called Spin Tires? Basically, it's a sim for getting stuck in the mud.
Really?
Yeah. It's like big trucks going through mud and hauling like logs and shit.
Officer Donut, for VR, I think they really need a mech game with a fully physical double-stick controller, and the VR is the view from the cockpit. Yeah, but here's the problem. As long as Piranha Studios is running the MechWarrior franchise, that, my friend, will never happen. Because they are making too much money from nickel and diming the shit out of you for a bad Twitch shooter.
Well, there could always
with
be
a BattleTech skin on it.
There could always be a rad sequel. That would be nice.
Hey Prinny, if I pointed a gun at your head and forced you to watch an anime, which one would be the least tormentuous for you? Ronin Warriors, bitch.
Yeah.
Ronin Warriors, Record of Lodoss War, these are some of my favorites. Zbor, the insulting part of Gears of War,
God of War.
God of War 5, is that Gravity Rush 2 is still a masterpiece of game design that even checks off all the diversity checklists, brown lesbians, but critics would rather praise more generic bullshit because Japan doesn't count unless Atlas. I don't really buy that. I mean, it kind of depends on which journalistic endeavor you're talking about, but the press, I don't know. It just depends on how big the company is. I think it really is just the size. Japan has shrunk so much in relevance that a lot of their gaming companies are tiny, and I think it's more a matter of middle market bias rather than anti-Japan bias.
Yeah.
They don't pony up, is really the bottom line. Because back in the day when Japan was running shit, they were creaming their jeans about shitty Japanese games and fucking anime garbage. So I really think it's just a matter, you know, they don't have much in the way of AAA anymore. What do they have? Capcom and fucking Square Enix. What else?
Yeah, exactly.
Konami? Konami's making fucking slot machines now. Like,
true.
What else is there to cream your jeans over?
Atlas and Arc System Works.
Yeah.
Arc System.
Let's see here. Officer Donut. And by physical controller, I mean like the original Steel Battalion. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Steel Battalion, bitch. Excalibur Forge, what's your biggest musical guilty pleasure? Probably like synth pop shit, like Device and shit, like really soft synth pop.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
The really chill stuff I like.
The goddamn Loch Ness monster from South Park. How would you feel about doing a gamma ray mythos? I like gamma ray. I wouldn't mind doing that. Philip Vector, Razor, with everything you know about the BattleTech game so far, do you think it'll be a good game, and will you review? The SJW stuff is a surprise. It wasn't a surprise to me when I watched those live streams. Yeah, I think the game is great. We played it here on a live stream, and go watch that footage. Even in that early state, it was fucking fantastic.
I can't wait for the 24th.
Yeah, it's... by the way, I got my fucking code today.
Yeah.
So, I'm set. And we will, you best believe, we will both review and play that. Crusader Saracen, Razor and T Boogie, would you enlist in Trump's Space Force? What would your dream jobs be? Gunner, pilot, etc. I would be more of a pilot. I was always more inclined to being a pilot than a gunner. Is the DNC's lawsuit the last flails of a dying, emaciated beast? God fucking speed, gents.
The answer is yes.
First off, thank you for all the donations on tonight's stream, and also for joining me on the test stream last night, Crusader Saracen. Yeah, my job would be a fucking pilot, and yes, it's their last fucking... Like I said earlier, I think it's a matter of... It's twofold. They're trying to distract from the Comey book because it contradicts a lot of their allegations from the last year. It disproves a lot of them. So they kind of want to hold up the Comey book, but you notice CNN and such are being really cautious about really pushing it. They're interviewing him, but they're not reporting it in a this is all vetted fact kind of a way. They're actually being careful and kind of muted in their celebration of Comey's book. It's weird. Watch some of the interviews on MSNBC and CNN. You'll see what I mean. They're being a little bit, I don't know, pensive about it. They're just kind of apprehensive. So, yeah, I think that's what it is. They're trying to distract from the Comey allegations, and they're also trying to carry what little momentum they have into November. Because otherwise, the Russian narrative's gonna die. He just bombed Syria for the second time, folks. Nobody's buying the Russian narrative except the absolute nut jobs who are just dyed-in-the-dog-shit lefties.
And they're counting on it, too.
Yes, absolutely. Bobio Jimbo, what's a spaceman's favorite candy? Mars bar.
Ugh.
I thought he was gonna say Milky Way or something, but what's a black spaceman's favorite candy bar? Milky Way Midnight. Anyway, so let's Metalhead Murder. Just wanted to pelt you with coins. That was my joke, by the way. Thoughts on Comey's book tour? Seems like nothing new, but the mainstream media is just eating it up. Why? Well, they're eating it up, but they're, like I said, they're a little bit reserved about it, about declaring it to be factual anyway.
Oh, yeah. They're playing it close to the chest.
Yes, they are. Mute Gamer, hey, you two, sent the Battletech key to your Facebook. Have fun with it.
Oh, thank you very much.
That one's for Taryn Gell, so I'm sure he appreciates it very much.
Indeed.
Mysteries, absurdities, and atrocities. Testament mythos. Maybe. I'm not the biggest Testament guy. Not the biggest. So I don't know about that one. That's an if or. Winter Exile Challenge pitch an Aquaman game. Godspeed. Didn't they try that on PS2?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a festering shit pile?
I remember something similar. Was it on the GameCube? It was literally called like Seaman or something.
No, it was called Aquaman.
It was called Aquaman?
It was Aquaman. I think it had a subtitle, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but there is absolutely an Aquaman game, and it is distilled essence of ass.
I'm sure someone in the chat will correct us.
Oh, it's terrible. It is muy terrible. But yeah, fucking... How would you pitch a fucking Aquaman game?
You'd have to go...
You know what? I
go
would
in hard on the combat.
Yeah. How do you do underwater combat, though?
Not well.
Yeah, it'd kind of be... I would go with, like, the Aquaman who's got the hook and kind of make it more of a hack and slash, maybe, or something like that. Underwater hack and slash. Here's the thing. Aquaman sucks.
They tried like hell to make him cool in the fucking Justice League movie.
And I never understand, because DC fans are usually, like, retro fags and Silver Age kind of guys, and the fact is Namor predates Aquaman, so if you're really like a retro Silver Age Golden Age guy, you should really be more of a Namor guy than a Aquaman guy, because Aquaman's just a transparent attempt to rip off Namor, the Submariner, and Namor's a badass. Namor is a badass motherfucker.
Mutant.
So, let's see here. TJ thinks Aquaman is a great superhero. Sustained. Let's see here. Testament Mythos, Aquaman game. Foghorn, being white is like riding the bus. No one there really had a choice, and anyone proud of it are losers that you wouldn't want to hang out with. I guess. Being proud of an accident of birth anyway is fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Just like fucking asking for reparations for something that happened almost 200 years ago. Which, by the way, did you hear that? Fucking reparations are apparently going to be a central part of the Democratic Party's platform in 2021.
Wow, they are dead.
I cannot imagine a less relevant... And it's hilarious, because... the fuck? Most of the people who are going to apply for these reparations don't even realize, like, what year it happened, or don't even... They just know, hey, free money.
About it.
They just know free money. And most of them, you know, because of all the fucking, you know, how many generations have passed since then, there's been all kinds of dilution of blood fucking, you know, only black people fucked black people since then? Like, if they fucked enough white people since then, do they still count as being from the family that, like, what the shit? Can white people who are distantly related to those black people who were slaves claim reparations? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
Is my question. It's
what
just
percentage
it's such
do
a
you need to be?
profound goddamn goat fuck. You gotta be kidding me. Let's see here. Asterix. Rant a little about Star Citizen. I told you guys, I tried to play it for the second time in, I don't know, a few years. So I got my older computer when I kind of switched back over to PC gaming.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Right. I got my older computer when I switched back to PC gaming, and it had like an okay graphics card. It was like a 960, GTX 960 or something like that. Somewhere thereabouts. I didn't really pay attention to what generation of graphics card it was when I got it, and that was my mistake. But it was a little behind the curve. So I expected to have problems running it, and it did have like frame rate issues or whatever, but oh my god. So I got like a space age computer upgrade in the last few months. So I've got like a NASA supercomputer right now. The graphics card is a couple generations behind. It's a 1060. It's not like the absolute apex, but it's not far behind. It's got several gigs of VRAM. It's nice. It's a nice graphics card. It's a good machine. I go to play Star Citizen and I'm expecting it to run like a dream because last time there was no problem. But since then they've changed fucking engines. I don't know what the fuck they did, folks. But it's like playing an underwater flip book. It's like I'm in the fucking Matrix. This entire goddamn game is in bullet time. What did you do? How did you take something that was working and break it? If my computer doesn't run it, don't even try. Don't even try! Not that my computer is the absolute best, but Jesus Christ! I have more gigs of RAM than God, so it's definitely not like a memory problem. And even in terms of VRAM, I've got at least 8 gigs on this son of a bitch. I mean, there's no way. The only thing I think is VRAM. That's the only thing I can think I'm lacking, because I got a good processor on the son of a bitch. But, yeah, that fucking drove me up the wall. All these years later, with a better computer, and the game got less functional. How the fuck?
I'm back. Is he done about Star Citizen?
Oh, what did they do to that engine? Did you hear about that, by the way? It was Dan... What was his name? I'm gonna call him Dan Smith, but I know that's not his name. Dan Smith. He was like a CryEngine expert. He's the guy who made MechWarrior Living Legends.
Oh, okay, okay.
He joined Star Citizen a while back, right? And they made a video about it, and they were like, holy shit, it's the guy who made MechWarrior Living Legends. He's working on Star Citizen now, and he's a CryEngine expert. You can actually go on their YouTube channel. I think the video is still up. It's hilarious. Dan Smith, Dan's... Smiley, Dan, it's Dan S something. I can't remember the last name. But anyway, the guy's great. The guy's great. He's not to blame here. But, he was touted as being like he was going to turn the project around and blah, blah, blah. And they made the mistake of making a video, and then what happens? He fucking splits. And he doesn't say anything, because this is what happens on Star Citizen, because they have so much controversy. They now, like, swear their employees to silence when they leave. So, it was somebody was looking at his LinkedIn profile, and he was no longer working at fucking CIG. So, yeah! Good stuff! But he was supposed to be your CryEngine expert, so it goes a long way to explaining why the engine is supremely fucking fucked. Sorry, that was more than a little rant on Star Citizen. Dennis Head, do you think our country could work without taxes? I think you'd need a little tax. I think it can definitely work without income tax. And as evidence for this fact, I would point to the fact that we were utterly industrialized. So, income tax was first instituted by Lincoln, who didn't give a shit about the Constitution. And it was immediately struck down by the 16th Amendment. It was found to be unconstitutional by a much better Supreme Court than the piece of shit we have now. And so for a long time, income tax was flat out illegal. And then Woodrow Wilson got elected. Man, this is like the Woodrow Wilson stream. What the fuck? But Woodrow Wilson came to town, and he decided to institute income tax. And
Thanks, asshole.
he started out saying it was temporary. And then what he did is he actually gave Congress the constitutional right to implement income tax. So he literally upended the Constitution. Supreme Court did fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing. They sat there with their thumbs up their asses. And he basically then used World War I as an excuse to extend it in perpetuity, and now we have income tax. It was supposed to be temporary for World War I, basically, and I'm sure one of these days we'll beat that pesky Kaiser. I'm sure. What is it, the 100-year anniversary of the end of World War I this year? I'm sure one of these days. It'll be good. So, let's see here. Do you think our country would work without taxes? Whoa. Ruh-roh.
Did you hit the back button?
Yes, I did. Hold on.
God damn it.
It's okay. Just need to go to Streamlabs. Sorry about that, gang.
You know how finicky it is.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bitch. Well, the screen went blank for a second.
Don't risk annihilation. Make way.
See here. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Log in. What the fuck? Sorry about that, guys. We lost your questions for a second.
Checked your bay number. Unauthorized loitering may trigger a vehicle response.
Streamlabs, come on, motherfucker.
Where's the login button?
I wish I knew. I think that's it. Aha! We found it. Sorry about that. We lost it for a moment, but we are back. Okay. Jesus, so many questions.
You guys are way too generous.
Seriously. Dr. DJ Fly High. Thoughts on the Trump Stormy Daniels lawsuit? Fucking ridiculous.
It's not.
So even if we assume everything she said is correct, which there's massive credibility issues here to begin with, because she said she never did it, and then she said she did, and then she said she never did it, and then she signed a fucking affidavit saying she never did it, and then she said she did it, and it's just back and forth. I don't know how you keep trotting her out, because the credibility issues...
It's gone.
You can see them from fucking space. Then there's the fact that she belongs to the same company, Wicked Pictures, that Jessica Drake also belongs to, who accused Trump of rape, and then the day after the election, she disappeared. She's fucking gone. Where is she? She disappeared into an alternate fucking dimension. So, huge issue. Oh, and did I mention Wicked Pictures, by the way, donates to the DNC on an annual basis? Because that's kind of pertinent. So, even if we assume everything she says is correct, at worst, he fucked around on his wife when he wasn't running for president, years before he was going to run for president, in fact, and then got her to sign a confidentiality agreement just in case he didn't want it to get out for, because he's a celebrity or he was planning to run for president one day or whatever. And she signed it voluntarily. She was paid voluntarily. And then she decided to breach the contract out of nowhere for feminism points. Where's the scandal? The scandal appears to be her breaching the contract, even if we assume everything she said is true. So what the fuck? I don't get it. How is this Trump's fault? He, it certainly speaks to his character and cheating on his wife and everything. That's not great. But he wasn't president at the time. So It doesn't matter. It's a little different. Clinton shoved a cigar in a fat chick's hoo-hoo. You know what I mean? It's a little different. Little different. And then fucking bullied her into submission. Fucking Hillary went after her like fucking chum in the water with a fucking great white. Terengell's disease-ridden clut.
Oh, God.
Are you going to the State Fair gun show tomorrow? Is the State Fair in town?
I actually don't know. I don't follow it.
Andrea Jovanovic. How do you know if Jim Sterling was... Oh, he did the Jim Sterling one. Nick Ronner. Razor, are you at all interested in the upcoming game Frostpunk, a game from the creators of This War of Mine, city builder in an Ice Age apocalypse? No, I haven't heard of it.
I saw some gameplay. I wasn't really impressed.
Yeah, I don't know. Things and stuff. Worst situation to be in. Stuck in an elevator with Anita Sarkeesian, Lena Dunham, and Big Red having a conversation about the patriarchy, or in a bathroom stall between Jim Sterling and Movie Slob on Bean Burrito Night.
Oh, God. Well,
It depends on the availability of nose plugs and or earplugs.
one situation you can just leave.
This is true. This is true. That I would say the bathroom stall, because at least I can fucking split.
Yeah.
Like Sterling's pants. Alright, Pudding Pants. Sing, please. What? Sing, please. Then the 189 in the service of heaven, they're protecting the holy line. It was 1527. Oh, I see. Thy will be done. Winged Hussars, I believe. Screw off. Razor, ever hear of Mars Volta? Of course. If so, thoughts. Blatant fucking hipster music. Next. DJ Fly High. How would you pitch Gamergate 2.0? Did Gamergate ever really end?
Yeah, no shit, right?
All that happened is all the journalistic websites that were taking a bunch of shit for trying to propagandize people every 15 minutes caught on and stopped trying to do it so fucking much. They went underground. You won. You know, I was actually going to record a video, I wish I had, called, you know, Gamergate 1 year on or something, or 2 years on. I was going to do like a retrospective of, okay, let's see if it actually had an effect. Because the big false narrative is Gamergate had no fucking effect. Okay, then why is Polygon... Like, Polygon got progressively less propagandist as Gamergate wore on. You know, you really noticed it. And Kotaku, you noticed Patricia Hernandez kind of... She shut right the fuck up, didn't she? You don't hear much from Patricia Hernandez these days. It was like, if it had no effect, then why did all these websites kind of change their stripes for a while? But, as with anything, Polygon have slowly gone back to their propaganda-mongering ways, and, you know, that's... Over time, they've gotten flabby and lazy, and it happens.
Now it's just clickbait.
Moody's Reviews, hey Razor, what's your take on this whole business between Trump and Amazon/USPS? Also, you give a shout out to my roommate Joel. Shout out to Joel, bitch. Trump and Amazon, was that him talking about... He was going back and forth about how Amazon is a fucking propagandist entity and basically are... You know, basically they're running the news blog that is the Washington Post. And he's not wrong. He's not fucking... Look at their coverage during the election. Look at some of the blatant goddamn bullshit they printed during that election that was provably fucking false after the fact. They were just printing anything that would prospectively damage Trump's presidential chances. They abandoned any semblance of objectivity. The Washington Post is a laugh and a fucking half. So... I mean, what more is there to say? That's all Trump said. He didn't say anything that wasn't fucking true. Jesus, I think anyone who's ever read the Washington Post can readily ascertain. Zbor, Gravity Rush 2 is Sony, though. What the shit? Metalhead Martyr, thoughts on the immigrant caravan that demanded entry into the U.S. but was repelled? Yes! Although, did you see fucking Paul Babot, who's a sheriff here in Arizona? He was going back and forth. Texas, man. Texas, you need to fucking tighten up your shit. I always laugh when fucking people from Texas are like, fucking, Texas is so red meat and guns and blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, man,
They made one big mistake.
Whoa.
They attacked my home planet.
There's a hardcore blue streak in fucking Texas, man. Hardcore.
It's all Austin. God damn it.
Austin, San Antonio, though, to a degree too, because of all the illegals and such. But like, he was going back and forth with the sheriff of I don't know what county he's the sheriff of, but it's a Texas sheriff, and he was basically, you know, he's basically their version of Paul Penzone. Oh, they're guests. Let them all in. It's illegal to stop them from crossing the border. Like, fuck you. Like, if you're encouraging them to illegally traverse the border, is that not sedition?
Just fire him right now.
Is that not outright sedition? Should he not be clapped in fucking irons? So yeah, that's my thought on that subject. Metalhead Martyr, isn't the DNC corrupt at this point? How's the blue wave actually gonna happen? The math seems not to be on their side, or is it just me? I have predicted if nothing changes, which is not gonna happen, but if nothing changes with the current landscape, no, there will be no blue wave. If nothing changes, as of now, blue wave does not happen. A lot could change between now and November. I reserve the right to change my prediction depending on what happens, but as of now, fuck no. Absolutely not. It won't happen. Even with Paul Ryan leaving, it's not fucking happening. And where is Paul Ryan from? Is it Wisconsin?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Because depending on where he is, it depends on the Constitution, the governor will actually get to appoint his replacement. It depends on if he's going to resign at the end of his term, though. If he's resigning at the end of his term and not resigning now, Paul Ryan is handing his seat over to the Democrats, and that's what he wants. And you should call him on that. Because that's the same thing Jeff Flake is doing. Jeff Flake, who resigned, quote-unquote, from from the Senate, as our senator, he resigned, air quotes, but he's resigning at the end of his term because he wants to give the Democrats a chance to take the fucking seat. And he's throwing his weight behind Kyrsten Sinema to take his fucking seat. It's the scummiest fucking bullshit. But that's his move.
I'll say it once, and I've said it once, and I'll say it again. The whole 2016 election lifted the veil.
Oh, yeah.
We can see what they're fucking doing.
I said it before, like, the greatest gift Donald Trump ever gave anyone, even if you don't like him, is he named names. He gave us all of their names. The people who were working against us and just wouldn't own up to it. We all suspected, I think. People,
always.
People like McCain, Jeff Flake, you know.
Oh, the news is biased a little, but,
Yeah.
you know, it's mostly true. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's the names he gave us that I appreciate the most. And Metalhead Martyr, thoughts on Vermintide 2? I don't have any thoughts. What about you?
It's Left 4 Dead.
Yeah?
That's literally all it is. I mean, it's got swords and magic. That's cool.
Yeah.
But it's Left 4 Dead.
German Nigor! Did you like the X3 games? Is Elite Dangerous good? Elite Dangerous is fucking great. I never played the X3 games.
No, sorry.
Unless you mean Mega Man X3, which is the
No.
titties.
It's like a space RTS or something.
Okay, no, I never played it. Josh Ricketts, what's the best Rainbow song, and why is it Stargazer? Why is it Eyes of the World? Graham Bonnet, bitches. And Mr. DJ Fly High, rant on bully hunters! This is the last one. Fucking... I think it's fine. I mean, it's literally just private citizens deciding to go after private citizens in a game. It's not like there's any, like, real-world consequences. The worst consequence is someone's gonna get salty. But I'm gonna laugh because you know it's gonna turn into, like, a bona fide YouTube genre. People turning the tables on these supposed pro-gamer bitches. You know what's gonna happen is, like, Justin Wong or somebody is gonna, like, set a trap for him, and the pro-gamer chick is gonna go to bust some ass, and she's gonna get her shit pushed in.
Yeah.
And you know it's gonna go viral on fucking YouTube. You know this is gonna happen. Like, I can see this as clear as a fucking cowbell. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. So, alright, gang. We're good! Actually, before we go, let's see if I can get some crew. Foreign we go. Passenger lounge, because I have I have room for a crew member now.
Very nice.
Very nice. Jiggly, come on. Gang, I cannot thank you enough for joining us on tonight's RazörFist Arcade Live. You've been glorious. Your dad jokes have been sublime. Okay, these are all travel contracts, I believe. Yes. Sightseeing adventure. Interesting, I could use Horizons on that one. 2 million credits!
God damn.
Holy shit! Recommended rank Pathfinder. I'm nowhere near that right now. Okay, maybe I'll pass on that one. Those are more like contracts. Alright, gang. Thank you all so much for joining us here on RazörFist Arcade Live. You are fantastic fuckers. And this has been a hell of a lot of fun. Folks, for Terran Gal, I am RazörFist God fucking Speed.